The law of vision. Why great dreams require great people. Every great dream starts with a seed, a whisper from purpose that tells you there's more inside you than what the world has seen. But here's the truth most people miss. No matter how big your dream is, you can't build it alone. The greatest visions demand collaboration, alignment, and shared conviction. You might be the spark, but you need others who will help turn that spark into a flame bright enough to change lives. The law of vision is simple. Big dreams require great people because greatness is never built in isolation. Think about every extraordinary movement, every business empire, every world-changing mission. Behind every visionary, there's a team of people who caught the same vision and decided to invest their energy, creativity, and faith into something bigger than themselves. Visionaries see the mountain, but great teams help them climb it. Without the right people, even the most brilliant ideas stay trapped in your mind as potential. And potential means nothing without execution. A dream without a team is just a fantasy. You can dream all day, pray all night, and plan for years, but if you don't learn how to attract, develop, and empower people who believe in your mission, your dream will never grow beyond your capacity. The greatest mistake dreamers make is trying to do it all alone, thinking independence is strength. But true strength isn't doing everything yourself, it's knowing how to multiply your impact through others. Great people don't follow small visions, they follow clarity, conviction, and consistency. If you want great people to join your mission, you must first embody what you want to attract. You can't draw excellence while living in mediocrity. You can't pull in loyal, disciplined, and committed people when you yourself are scattered, reactive, and inconsistent. Great people are drawn to leadership that reflects the future they desire. That means before the right people come, the right version of you must emerge. The law of vision begins with you becoming the message. Your team doesn't follow your dream, they follow your example. They're not inspired by your words, they're inspired by your work ethic, your consistency, your faith, and your integrity. If your actions don't align with your declarations, your influence will always be limited. Leadership starts with internal alignment. Before you can lead others toward a great dream, you must first master leading yourself. When you start operating from purpose, the energy you release becomes magnetic. The right people can feel it before you even speak. They can sense that you're not chasing success for ego, but serving a mission that matters. Purpose has a frequency, and it calls out to those tuned to the same signal. That's why clarity is so crucial. If you don't know exactly what your dream stands for, the wrong people will fill the space meant for the right ones. When your vision is blurry, you attract confusion. But when your vision is sharp, you attract alignment. Great teams are built, not found. They're shaped by culture, trust, and shared belief. It's not enough to hire talent, you need people with heart. Skills can be developed, but heart can't be taught. You want individuals who see beyond money, beyond comfort, beyond the now, people who believe in what you're building even when it doesn't yet look successful. Because the truth is, building a dream is messy before it's meaningful. The early stages test loyalty and belief more than ability. The law of vision also demands communication. You have to articulate your dream clearly enough that others can see themselves in it. Too many leaders hold the vision in their head but fail to transfer it into the hearts of others. You can't inspire participation if people don't understand the purpose. Speak your vision daily, not just with passion but with precision. Make it plain so that those who hear it can run with it. But here's the deeper principle: you attract who you are, not who you want. If your team lacks discipline, ask if you've been modeling discipline. If they lack focus, ask if you've been clear about the mission. If they lack commitment, ask if you've been consistent in your pursuit. Leadership multiplies your energy into others. Your weaknesses will echo louder than your words. That's why self-awareness is a leader's greatest tool. When you heal, grow, and elevate yourself, you unconsciously elevate everyone connected to you. Building a great dream means building a foundation of faith. You can't expect people to believe in your vision if you're still doubting it. Your belief gives others permission to believe. You must stand so firm in your conviction that their uncertainty becomes irrelevant. When your vision becomes a calling, not a career, you inspire people to rise beyond their comfort zones. The greatest leaders don't convince, they convict. They awaken something in others that says, "This is bigger than me." A great dream also requires humility. You can't attract greatness if you're threatened by it. Too many leaders stunt their team's growth because they want to be the smartest person in the room. But true greatness multiplies greatness. A powerful leader doesn't compete with their team, they complete them. They empower others to shine, knowing that when the team wins, the vision wins. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, who think differently, who sharpen your blind spots. Iron sharpens iron, but only if you're willing to be refined. And here's the truth. You don't attract who you need by force. You attract them by alignment. The right people don't just come for opportunity, they come for purpose. They come because they sense that working with you will awaken something in them. They're not looking for a paycheck, they're looking for partnership in destiny. When your vision carries divine weight, it pulls in divine connections. The law of vision teaches that you can't expand alone, and you shouldn't want to. Because when great people come together under one divine mission, the impossible becomes inevitable. The dream gets clearer, the process gets faster, the results get greater, the legacy gets stronger. So, if you're serious about building something that outlives you, stop asking, "Where's my team?" and start asking, "Who do I need to become to attract them?" When you elevate your vision, you elevate your vibration. When you walk in integrity, you attract loyalty. When you live with clarity, you draw in alignment, becoming the person your dream needs. Before the dream can grow, you must. Before you can attract greatness, you must embody it. Every dream requires a different version of you, and the person you are right now may not be ready to lead the future you desire. This isn't an insult, it's an invitation. It's an invitation to evolve into the type of individual who can handle the weight of the vision, who can inspire trust, who can sustain momentum, who can attract powerful people and keep them aligned. You can't build $1 million dream with a minimum effort mindset. You can't lead world-class people with average habits. The level of your team will always reflect the level of your personal growth. The first thing you must realize is that your dream doesn't respond to what you want, it responds to who you are. People say, "I want to build something amazing," but the universe answers, "Then become someone amazing." You can't manifest the dream if you haven't yet matured into the leader the dream requires. You can't call for loyalty, faith, and commitment if you haven't yet cultivated them in yourself. It's not about attracting people, it's about becoming magnetic. When you're walking in purpose, operating with excellence, and living with integrity, the right people can feel it. They'll want to run with you, not because you ask them to, but because your energy demands alignment. Becoming the person your dream needs starts with responsibility. You must take full ownership of your results, your patterns, your decisions, and your energy. No more excuses, no more blame, no more waiting for perfect conditions. Leaders don't react to circumstances, they create them. If something isn't working, don't point outward, look inward. Because your external reality will always mirror your internal state. A disorganized life attracts chaos. A disciplined life attracts order. The moment you raise your standards, your environment adjusts. The moment you demand more from yourself, others start to take you seriously. The next step is character development. Talent attracts attention, but character sustains connection. You might impress people with your skill, but you'll only keep them with your integrity. Great dreams fall apart not because the vision wasn't powerful, but because the leader wasn't grounded. Every test you face in the early stages is not meant to destroy you, it's meant to prepare you. You can't lead others until you've learned to lead yourself. When you start developing patience, emotional control, and humility, your leadership becomes magnetic. People don't follow perfect leaders, they follow authentic ones. They want to see that you've overcome something, that your conviction has been tested and proven true. You must also learn to master your emotions, because a leader who can't manage their emotions will destroy what they're called to build. The dream requires stability. It needs someone who doesn't fall apart when things don't go according to plan, who doesn't quit when people disappoint them, who doesn't react impulsively under pressure. The stronger your emotional foundation, the greater the weight you can carry. Every season of frustration is God's gym for your faith. You're being trained to hold what you've been praying for. Don't resist the pressure, it's sculpting you into someone powerful. Next comes discipline. This is the bridge between your current potential and your future reality. You can't attract disciplined people while living without structure. You can't expect excellence from others if you don't model it yourself. Discipline isn't about perfection, it's about consistency. It's doing what's required even when you don't feel like it. It's keeping promises to yourself long enough to build trust with others. The best leaders are predictable in their habits, not because they're rigid, but because they're reliable. When people can depend on your consistency, they'll commit to your vision. Then there's vision alignment. You must get so clear about your purpose that confusion has no place. People follow clarity. If you don't know who you are, where you're going, or why you're doing it, no one will feel confident joining you. You can't lead with uncertainty. That doesn't mean you have to know every step. It means you have to know the direction. You must have conviction about your why, even when the how is still developing, because conviction communicates confidence. It tells people, I don't have all the answers, but I know this is where we're supposed to go. That level of certainty draws people who crave stability. Becoming the person your dream needs also means learning to serve before you lead. You cannot demand commitment if you haven't demonstrated it. Leadership is not a throne, it's a towel. The greatest leaders are those who are willing to serve the mission, not just manage people. If you help others win, they'll help you win. When people see that you genuinely care about their growth, not just their performance, loyalty becomes natural. Serve your vision with humility, and your team will serve it with honor. You must also refine your communication. Your words are the seeds that build culture. Speak life, speak purpose, speak direction. A weak communicator breeds confusion, and confusion kills momentum. When you speak with passion and precision, you give people something to rally behind. Learn to articulate your ideas in ways that stir belief. Don't just tell people what to do, tell them why it matters. People don't commit to instructions, they commit to inspiration. And finally, becoming the person your dream needs means mastering faith and patience. Because even when you do everything right, lead well, plan strategically, stay consistent, growth still takes time. The dream doesn't unfold instantly, it unfolds progressively. Don't despise the process. Every delay is developing you. Every challenge is refining your leadership. You're learning endurance, resilience, and trust, the ingredients that separate temporary leaders from timeless ones. Great teams don't follow weak identities. They follow strength rooted in authenticity, confidence rooted in purpose, and leadership rooted in example. So, if you're serious about attracting powerful people to your vision, focus first on becoming powerful yourself. Upgrade your habits, sharpen your focus, elevate your standards, deepen your faith. When you grow, everything connected to you grows. When you evolve, your circle evolves. Remember, the dream doesn't fail when resources run out. It fails when the leader stops growing. The size of your destiny will always match the size of your development. So keep stretching, keep refining, keep becoming. Because the person you're becoming right now will either unlock or limit the future you're building. How to attract, not chase the right people. One of the greatest shifts in life and leadership happens when you stop chasing and start attracting. When you stop running after validation, opportunities, and people and start becoming so aligned, so valuable, so magnetic that the right ones can't help but find you. You see, chasing drains energy, but attraction builds momentum. Chasing means you're trying to convince people of your worth. Attraction means your worth is already speaking for itself. The goal isn't to run after people, it's to evolve into someone they want to run with. Every dream, every purpose, every vision requires the right people, but most people spend their energy begging for support instead of becoming support-worthy. They plead for loyalty before they've demonstrated consistency. They demand respect before they've earned credibility. And that's why so many great ideas die in isolation, not because they weren't worthy, but because the person behind them was still chasing instead of attracting. Attraction begins with alignment. When your life, your words, and your actions are in harmony, you radiate authenticity. And authenticity is magnetic. You don't have to manipulate or persuade people when your spirit is aligned with your purpose. The right ones will recognize it instantly. People can feel when you're walking in your assignment, it carries a frequency that draws others in. You won't have to beg them to stay. They'll want to be near it, because truth always attracts truth. But most people miss this. They try to perform alignment. They pretend to be focused, disciplined, confident, but energy doesn't lie. You can't fake wholeness. You can't fake peace. You can't fake purpose. If you're still carrying insecurity, resentment, or desperation, it seeps through everything you say and do. That's why the foundation of attraction isn't tactics, it's transformation. You attract based on what you are, not what you say you want. So, before you worry about finding the right people, focus on becoming the right person. When you operate from wholeness, you stop chasing approval. You stop trying to convince people to see your value. You stop forcing connections that aren't meant for your path. You realize that what's meant for you will recognize you, and what doesn't recognize you isn't yours to carry. The wrong people will never feel enough, no matter how much you give, because they were never assigned to your vision. When you learn to release the wrong ones, you make space for the right ones to arrive. Next, attraction requires clarity. People can't join something you can't explain. You can't attract committed, high-level people with a vague vision. If you don't know who you are, where you're going, or what you stand for, no one can follow that. Clarity is power, and power attracts. When your message is clear, the right people can instantly identify if they belong in your world. Confusion repels, clarity compels. Speak your vision boldly, declare what you're building. Define your values. When your life sends a strong signal, the right receivers will tune in. Another key to attraction is consistency. You can't expect trust from others when you're unpredictable in your habits. Consistency is a magnet for commitment. People follow what's stable. When they see that your passion doesn't fade, your work ethic doesn't waver, and your word means something, they start to believe in your mission. The moment you become reliable, you become irresistible. The moment you prove you'll show up with or without applause, the right people will start to appear. Because consistency builds credibility, and credibility breeds attraction. Now, let's talk about energy. Energy is everything. You can't attract peace while living in chaos. You can't attract abundance while operating in scarcity. You can't attract confident people while living in self-doubt. The law of resonance says, you don't get what you want, you get what you are. If your energy is fearful, you'll attract more fear. If your energy is desperate, you'll attract users and manipulators. But when your energy is calm, grounded, confident, and purpose-driven, you attract people who carry the same spirit. You'll notice that immediately the conversations change, the collaborations feel easy, and the flow feels natural. That's how you know you've shifted frequencies. Attraction also requires boundaries. Weak boundaries repel the strong. When you tolerate everything, you communicate that you stand for nothing. And the right people, the disciplined, focused, purpose-driven ones, won't stay around someone who doesn't protect their peace. Boundaries don't push people away. They filter the wrong ones out. They signal self-respect. And self-respect is deeply magnetic. People trust those who respect themselves because it means you'll respect them too. Another principle of attraction is value. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you give. When you consistently add value to others' lives, when your presence improves the room, when your words uplift and your actions inspire, people will be drawn to you naturally. You won't have to sell yourself. Your contribution will speak for you. Focus on serving, not impressing. Focus on solving problems, not seeking attention. When your purpose benefits others, people will want to be a part of it. And don't forget gratitude. Gratitude multiplies attraction because gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's growing. When you're grateful, your energy becomes magnetic. You stop radiating lack and start radiating abundance. And abundance attracts abundance. People love being around grateful spirits because gratitude feels peaceful, it feels safe. You become a light in a world full of complaint and comparison. Now, there's also faith. Faith is the unseen magnet. When you believe in your calling with unshakable conviction, even when nothing seems to be working, you activate divine alignment. The right people are not just drawn by your skill, they're drawn by your faith. Faith communicates certainty, and certainty inspires trust. When people see that your belief doesn't crumble under pressure, they begin to believe too. Finally, attraction comes through stillness. You must learn the art of silence, because sometimes silence speaks louder than strategy. When you're always chasing, posting, explaining, and overproving, your energy screams desperation. But when you're silent, focused, and building, your progress does the talking. People are intrigued by mystery, by discipline that doesn't demand attention. Every time you choose silence over validation, your presence grows stronger. Every time you choose private growth over public noise, your influence multiplies. The truth is, you don't have to run after anything that's divinely aligned for you. You don't have to manipulate what's meant for you to fit. You simply have to match it. Match the level of energy, discipline, and excellence that your dream requires, and the people who are called to it will show up, because purpose attracts purpose. So stop chasing approval. Stop running after people. Stop begging to be seen. Instead, become undeniable. Become so excellent that they can't ignore you. Become so consistent that they can't doubt you. Become so authentic that they can't forget you. The people you've been looking for are looking for you, but they can only find you when you stop chasing and start aligning. Remember this, chasing is rooted in fear. Attraction is rooted in faith. Fear says, I need to find them. Faith says, when I'm ready, they'll find me. And when you finally step into that space, that calm, confident, unbothered space where your energy, vision, and purpose all flow together, you won't have to search for your people anymore. They'll recognize you instantly, because what's real doesn't chase, it attracts. Building trust and loyalty within your circle. If you want to build something that lasts, a business, a movement, a legacy, You must understand that trust and loyalty are the foundation stones. Without them, everything else collapses. You can have the best vision, the most powerful message, and the biggest dream, but if there's no trust in your circle, if loyalty is missing, your dream will crumble under the weight of betrayal and inconsistency. The strength of your circle determines the strength of your future. Building trust doesn't happen by accident. It's not something you demand, it's something you earn. It comes from integrity, consistency, and humility. Integrity is doing what you said you would do long after the feeling in which you said it has faded. Consistency is showing up when no one's watching, when there's no applause, no validation, no spotlight. Humility is the strength to serve even when you could lead, the patience to listen even when you could speak, and the grace to lift others even when no one lifts you. When you carry these three qualities, people don't just follow you, they trust you with their loyalty, their time, their faith, and their effort. Let's be real, loyalty is rare in today's world. People change circles faster than they change seasons. They chase the next trend, the next opportunity, the next person with influence. But you can't build greatness with people who are only loyal to convenience. You need people who are loyal to commitment. And that kind of loyalty doesn't come from control, it comes from connection. People stay loyal when they feel valued, respected, and seen. You cannot demand loyalty through fear or manipulation. You inspire it through character and consistency. The first rule of building trust is transparency. Stop trying to look perfect. Perfection creates distance. Authenticity builds bridges. When people see that you're human, that you struggle, that you learn, that you own your mistakes, they trust you more. Because honesty invites connection. Pretending to have it all together makes you unrelatable. Vulnerability isn't weakness, it's strength under control. It tells your circle, you can trust me because I'm not hiding who I am. The second rule is communication. You can't expect loyalty in an environment where people don't feel heard. Too many relationships fail because people stop listening. They stop having hard conversations. They start assuming instead of asking, reacting instead of reflecting. Trust dies where silence grows. You build loyalty when people know they can come to you with truth, not fear. Whether it's business, family, or friendship, open communication creates safety, and safety breeds loyalty. Next comes accountability. If you want a loyal team, you must be accountable not just to others, but to yourself. You can't ask for dedication when you're inconsistent. You can't demand excellence when you tolerate mediocrity in your own habits. People don't follow what you say, they follow what you do. Your consistency builds trust. Your discipline builds faith. Every time you keep your word, even in small things, your credibility increases. And credibility is the currency of leadership. But trust and loyalty are not one-sided. Too many people want loyalty without giving it back. If you want people to stand with you, you must stand with them. Support them in private, defend them in their absence, celebrate their wins without jealousy. That's how loyalty grows through mutual honor. Loyalty isn't blind obedience, it's consistent belief in someone's integrity. It's saying, I trust your intentions, even when your execution isn't perfect. It's giving grace without losing standards. You also need boundaries to preserve loyalty, because loyalty without limits turns into slavery. Don't confuse loyalty with self-sacrifice. You should never destroy your peace to prove your commitment. True loyalty doesn't drain you, it strengthens you. It's built on respect, not control. It's mutual, not manipulative. If someone expects loyalty without reciprocating it, that's not partnership, that's exploitation. Another key element is recognition. People stay loyal to those who see their value. If you lead, lead with gratitude. Acknowledge effort, celebrate progress, and appreciate faithfulness. Never take consistency for granted. The easiest way to lose good people is to act like their loyalty is an obligation instead of a blessing. A few sincere words of gratitude can keep a heart connected for years. People don't leave environments where they feel valued, they leave where they feel invisible. Let's talk about trust under pressure. Anybody can be loyal when things are easy, but the true test of trust happens in adversity. When the plan fails, when criticism rises, when the spotlight dims, that's when you see who's really for you. Pressure reveals authenticity. In those moments, you must also show loyalty. Don't abandon people when they're struggling. Be the kind of person who stays when others walk away, because trust is built in the valleys, not the mountaintops. Now, here's a truth most people overlook. Trust and loyalty grow faster in an environment of vision. People are loyal to purpose, not personalities. If your mission is clear and powerful, people will rally behind it. They'll give their best because they see where you're going. They'll fight beside you because they believe in what you're building. But if there's no vision, there's no direction. And without direction, loyalty fades. Every great leader understands this loyalty thrives in clarity. Another key to trust is time. You can't rush relationships. You can't microwave loyalty. It takes seasons of consistency to earn it. Stop giving full access to people who haven't passed the test of time. Trust people slowly, but once you do, do it fully. Because premature trust leads to preventable pain. Let people show you who they are, not just in their words, but in their patterns. Consistency reveals character. Let's not forget the role of faithfulness. Faithfulness means showing up even when no one notices. It means holding the vision even when others doubt it. Faithfulness creates reliability, and reliability creates security. You want people to say, if they said they'll do it, it'll get done. That's how trust multiplies. And finally, trust grows in love. Real love, not emotional dependency or surface level flattery, but love grounded in respect and truth. Love that corrects without crushing. Love that supports without smothering. Love that pushes you higher while keeping you grounded. When love leads the circle, loyalty follows naturally. Because people don't stay for money, fame, or influence. They stay for love that feels safe and genuine. The truth is this: loyalty is never an accident. It's cultivated intentionally. It's a reflection of how you treat people when they can do nothing for you. It's born out of mutual growth, shared pain, and collective vision. You can't buy it, but you can build it brick by brick, word by word, action by action. So, as you build your dream, protect your circle. Be slow to add, quick to discern, and faithful to nurture. Make your word law, your actions consistent, and your presence dependable. Because when people can trust you, they'll run through walls with you, and when loyalty surrounds you, nothing can stop you. Your dream is too great to build with broken trust. Surround yourself with those who understand the assignment, those who don't just believe in your success, but are willing to fight for it alongside you. That's not a crowd, that's a covenant. And a covenant built on trust and loyalty will outlast every storm life sends your way, multiplying greatness through unity and vision. Every truly great achievement in history, every movement that changed the world, every company that revolutionized an industry, every mission that left an unshakable legacy was not the product of one individual's talent, but the unity of a collective vision. One person may spark the fire, but it takes a united circle to keep it burning. And if you want to multiply greatness in your life, you must learn the divine principle of unity, how to align people under one vision so that their combined faith, energy, and discipline create results far greater than any individual effort ever could. You see, vision alone is powerful, but vision shared is unstoppable. Most people fail not because their dreams are too small, but because they try to carry them alone. They want the glory, not the growth. They want control, not collaboration. But what they don't realize is that isolation kills multiplication. You can't expand what you won't share. You can't multiply what you won't empower. True leadership is not about gathering followers, it's about building builders. It's about creating a community of people who each carry a piece of the vision in their own way, with their own gifts, their own strength, their own faith. To multiply greatness, the first step is to establish clarity of purpose. You cannot unite people around confusion. People can't commit to what they don't understand. Your vision must be clear enough that it ignites others. You should be able to communicate it in a way that stirs emotion, challenges comfort, and compels action. Clarity attracts alignment. When you're clear about where you're going, you draw others who are designed to walk that same path. Confusion divides, but clarity unites. Once clarity is set, the next principle is alignment of values. Because unity isn't about everyone being the same, it's about everyone moving in the same direction. You don't need clones, you need comrades. You don't want people who think exactly like you want people who believe like you. Shared values hold teams together when emotions waver and circumstances shift. Vision gets tested, progress gets slow, pressure gets heavy. But when the foundation of shared values is strong integrity, discipline, humility, faith, the unity stands firm. To multiply greatness, you must also practice empowerment. Weak leaders hoard authority, wise leaders distribute it. If you want to go far, you must trust others with responsibility. You must allow them to fail, to learn, to grow. Empowerment doesn't mean letting go of excellence. It means creating an environment where excellence can reproduce itself. When people feel trusted, they rise higher. When they feel micromanaged, they retreat. The best teams are built on trust that says, I believe in your ability to carry the vision with me. That belief becomes fuel. Next comes communication. Unity cannot survive without honest and consistent communication. You can't multiply what you don't maintain. And communication is maintenance for the heart of a team. Speak truth early, correct gently, praise openly, and resolve conflict quickly. Never let silence become a substitute for leadership. Most divisions don't start with betrayal. They start with misunderstanding that was never addressed. Clear communication keeps alignment alive. Now, to truly multiply greatness, you must embrace diversity of strengths. Every person in your circle brings a different skill, perspective, and energy. Don't fear that difference, celebrate it. Diversity doesn't dilute the vision, it strengthens it. The more perspectives you have aligned under one mission, the more powerful your movement becomes. When everyone plays their part with excellence, you create harmony, not chaos. Think of it like an orchestra. One plays the violin, another the drums, another the flute, all different sounds, but one unified song. Another key to unity is servant leadership. Leadership isn't about position, it's about posture. It's about being willing to serve the very people who serve the vision. Greatness multiplies when the leader lowers themselves to lift others. The moment you think leadership makes you more important than the people walking with you, you've already started losing them. The most powerful leaders are those who wash feet metaphorically, who show through action that no task is beneath them, no person too small to matter. That kind of humility inspires loyalty, trust, and multiplication. You also must understand the power of shared accountability. Unity doesn't mean avoiding correction, it means loving each other enough to demand growth. When your circle holds one another accountable, not out of pride, but out of purpose, the standard rises. Everyone sharpens everyone else. Accountability keeps the vision alive when motivation fades. It creates a culture where mediocrity feels uncomfortable and excellence feels normal. That's how greatness multiplies, not by hype, but by habits. Faith also plays a massive role in unity. Faith is the unseen glue that holds a team together when logic says it should fall apart. There will be moments when the resources run low, when the results are slow, when the road gets dark. In those moments, faith must speak louder than fear. You must remind your circle of the promise behind the process. You must see beyond the visible and lead them toward what's possible. Faith makes you resilient, and resilience keeps a vision alive long enough to multiply. Now, to multiply greatness, you must eliminate ego. Nothing divides faster than pride. Ego wants credit, unity wants impact. Ego competes, unity completes. Ego says me, vision says we. If you want your dream to expand, you must kill the need to be the hero. You must allow others to shine, to lead, to receive recognition. Because real leaders are not afraid of other leaders, they create them. Every time you empower someone to grow into their own greatness, you multiply yours. Another essential ingredient is gratitude. Gratitude keeps hearts soft and spirits humble. When you regularly express gratitude for the people walking beside you, their sacrifices, their loyalty, their effort, you nurture unity. Gratitude says, I see you. And people who feel seen stay longer, fight harder, and give more. Never underestimate the power of a sincere thank you. Gratitude multiplies goodwill, and goodwill multiplies greatness. The final step in multiplying greatness through unity and vision is celebration. Celebration is the rhythm of growth. When you celebrate small wins, you reinforce belief. When you honor milestones, you renew energy. Celebration reminds your circle that progress is being made, even if perfection hasn't been reached. It keeps the team motivated and connected to the mission. Because when people feel celebrated, they continue to contribute. Here's the truth. The enemy of unity is division, and the tool of division is distraction. Distraction pulls your focus from purpose to personality, from mission to emotion. Stay focused on the vision. Don't let small offenses break something that took faith to build. Remember, a divided house cannot stand. But a united circle, one that prays together, plans together, builds together, and believes together, can accomplish the impossible. Your dream deserves a united circle. Your purpose deserves aligned people. Stop trying to do it alone. Greatness is not a solo act, it's a symphony. The greatest leaders know how to gather, how to nurture, and how to multiply through people. You don't have to carry it all, you just have to lead it well. When vision and unity meet, miracles happen. Ideas turn into movements. Efforts turn into impact. Individuals turn into legacy builders. And you realize that your success was never just about you, it was about everyone you were called to lift along the way. So build your circle with intention, protect it with integrity, nurture it with humility, and watch how unity multiplies your greatness beyond anything you could have achieved alone. Because when you move as one, guided by purpose and fueled by faith, there is no limit to how far you can go, how much you can build, or how deeply you can transform the world around you.